Commissioners Meeting. This meeting is held in the Jackson County Courthouse Auditorium at 10 South Oakdale in Medford. This meeting is held every Wednesday morning at 9:30 as long as a quorum of 2 commissioners is available to conduct the business of Jackson County. Your Jackson County Commissioners broadcast this meeting over Rogue Valley Television, and it's available for live streaming and review at jacksoncountyor.gov. Under the Government tab, under Recorded Meetings, click on RVTV Live Streaming. The types of business that occur at this meeting include public hearings, official voting on actions by the Board of Commissioners, presentations by departments of the county, and recognition of service that makes our county great. Agendas of the meetings are posted on the Commissioners' Bulletin Board and released on the county website and through local media in the time required for public notice. Many of the conclusions on the business presented to the Board of Commissioners have been discussed in detail and prepared by the Administration Office and staff prior to consideration at this meeting and the official vote. These prior discussions also have been properly noticed and the work done in a transparent manner. We encourage you to come and experience the process by attending any of these meetings or watch online at jacksoncountyor.gov. And now, your Jackson County Commissioners, Dave Dodderer, Rick Dyer, and Colleen Roberts, working for you.
Good morning. It's 9:30, so we will call the Board of Commissioners regular meeting for March 13th, 2024 to order. We are live here in the Courthouse Auditorium and on Zoom, audio video conference, and we'll start the meeting today with the Pledge of Allegiance. If you please stand.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We will now enter our request for and discussion of non-agenda items. Excuse me, we do have a 5-minute limit. Pursuant to the codified ordinance of Jackson County, Section 213.06, members of the public may address any item not on the agenda. However, pursuant to ORS 192.640, the Board of Commissioners is prohibited from discussing a principal subject that is not on the agenda. Therefore, the Board of Commissioners will listen to your concerns and may consider the matter you raise by asking staff to follow up on any questions or by placing the matter on the agenda for discussion at a future meeting. We have a couple people signed up today. First one, Colleen Padilla. Morning, Colleen. If you come up and give your name and address for the record, please, before speaking.
Yes, good morning, Commissioners. I'm Danny and Joel. Colleen Padilla, Executive Director for So Ready. Just wanted to bring you an update today. I know Commissioner Dodder probably has a copy of this, but we had our State of the Rogue Valley breakfast last week, and it had been a while since we provided a really comprehensive update. We've been a little busy with some other things going on in the last few years, but I wanted to provide some additional copies for you today. This is looking back at the last 3 years of what we've been up to. So it includes things from the grant management that we were able to provide for Jackson County and other jurisdictions. It includes things like what we've been doing with our loan program, recruitment type of projects, also enterprise zone type of project. So it really is comprehensive. I just wanted to say thank you for your support to So Ready. This will be kind of an every other type of publication every other year going forward to provide updates. This is in alignment with the One Rogue Valley Comprehensive Economic Development Strategy, which is for the entire region, that you also supported a few years ago when we hired the consultant. So this is real data points, including things like letters of support that we provide throughout the community. So during this period, I'll give you a couple of nuggets of information. During this reporting period, we wrote 27 different support letters, all tied back to that One Rogue Valley strategy, from support to the airport, for some of the East Apron activity, and many other things. And while it's not respective to this report, just in this current fiscal year, we've already written 12, and we're very pleased to report that one of those was instrumental in helping Oregon Shakespeare Festival get the $2.5 million they needed because they were kind of bypassed from the Oregon legislature. So those things matter to us. This loan program is strong. Recruitment projects are as strong as they could be during this time. And then the big number, way back in the pandemic days, was $7.1 million that we passed throughout the region in both pandemic relief and fire relief during that period of time. So that supported 557 businesses, mostly small businesses. So you read a little bit about that. And that wouldn't have been possible really for us to do unless you were such a strong supporter and one of our founding fathers that enables us simply to exist in moments like these. So just wanted to give an update. I have 3 additional copies here. I'm assuming that Commissioner Daughter has one, but I'll leave these with Casey, and that's all I have today. Thank you for your service.
Thank you. All right. Next we have, excuse me, Kent Knock. Come on up. Can give your name and address for the record, please.
Good morning. I'm Kent Knock, and I live at 2583 East Evans Creek Road, Rogue River. And I have a couple of questions. The first one, I'm sort of puzzled by a document that was submitted to a meeting on the 15th of February about whether 3 commissioners or 5 commissioners would make a significant cost difference. And there's one particular item that puzzles me, and it's they're not numbered, but it says professional memberships and county membership AOC dues on the right side of that document. And it's one that Danny Jordan prepared, so you already have it. And my question is, why would having 2 more commissioners require us to pay $50,000 dues when we don't pay them now? That's my question. I see Danny's here, but I have another question, so I don't want to use up my 5 minutes. And that is a much more difficult question. A while back, there was an effort to build a new jail for about $1 billion, a lot of money. And at the time, I was sort of puzzled about why would you want to throw people in jail that may not belong there, and particularly the mentally ill and drug addicted. Now, if that is an appropriate thing, then I guess you're stuck with building a jail for $1 billion. But it may be that the appropriate action is to look at the situation, have the police look at the situation, or whoever responds to whatever incident is bringing a person to the attention of law enforcement, and say, are these people mentally ill? Is this a drug addiction problem? Is this something that really belongs as dangerous? Is this something that really justifies putting this person in jail and keeping them away from the public? Now, obviously, the last category where you have dangerous people, you got to have them locked up. But if they're mentally ill or if they have drug problems, maybe they don't belong in jail. Maybe jail will make them worse. So this seems to be a very complex problem. And I don't see the expertise here to deal with parts of that problem. And parts of that problem are mental illness, which I don't think is really understood. I'm a chemist. It's not understood as well as chemistry is. So there appear to be other organizations like NAMI with the National Association for the Mentally Ill. And there are probably other organizations that have expertise in this. And I believe that there are probably other governmental entities that have dealt with this problem and tried to figure out how to balance between treatment for drugs mental illness, and jail. And without doing that work, I don't see how you could propose to spend billions of dollars. And it seems that the studies that would shed light on this don't seem to be happening. I don't hear of hearings or anything like that where you're trying to bring in these other entities like NAMI and try to work out something where you have a solution that makes sense overall, not just throw them in jail and see what happens. Thank you very much.
Thank you. First of all, is there anybody else in the auditorium that'd like to speak before we move on? Anybody online?
Mr. Chair, I do not have anyone online with their Zoom hand raised to speak.
Okay, not to turn this into a dialogue, but I do want to just point out the fact that the county's been involved in a program called Stepping Up for probably 8 years, where we do have sequential intercepts for people with mental illness, where they're not incarcerated, where they're diverted to more appropriate care. That's been going on here a long time, along with crisis intervention training, crisis teams. All the things you mentioned are being done. I don't know if staff had anything to add to the other questions Mr. Knock may have asked.
Well, since you started with that one, Mr. Chair, I'll add a little bit to it. So no one gets put in jail for using drugs or being mentally ill. They get put in jail for committing crimes. So we don't just throw people in jail for being mentally ill or using drugs. They have to have committed a crime to be in jail. With regard to the cost, we're not proposing to build a jail for $1 billion. The proposal was to build a jail for $160 million, and which the county was going to fund $60 million of. So the cost of building the jail was $100 million, not $1 billion. The cost of operating it over 20 years, including the cost of capital outlay, was near $1 billion. So two totally different issues. Speaking of the AOC issue in my proposed budget, which I still stand 100% behind, I've worked for this county for 18 years. The county's been a member of AOC for 16 of those years. A budget is an annual document. Joining AOC is an annual election. So the Board of Commissioners determines annually whether or not they want to be a member of AOC. This current board has chosen not to be a member of AOC. 2 of these 3 commissioners will still be in office if these measures pass. We will have 1 new commissioner. That wouldn't change the balance of this board's decision to be a member of AOC. But if we have 2 new commissioners along with the 3rd commissioner that's being replaced, it would change the balance of whether or not our board could choose to be a member of AOC. The benefits of being a member of AOC when you have a new board of commissioners, where the majority are new commissioners, is they offer what's called county college. It's 4 new commissioners. So typically in the past, when we've had a new board seated, they've wanted to join AOC. You put money in a budget as a prediction. A budget is a predictionary tool. You have to have the money available if the board wants to be able to spend the money. So that's why it's in the budget. And that's the logic behind it being in the budget.
Excuse me. Turn on that mic. Move on to the consent calendar, which this week consists of the minutes of meetings of the Board of Commissioners work session of February 20th, 2024, our regular meeting of February 21st, 2024, and our staff meeting of February 22nd, 2024.
And I will move approval of the consent calendar as presented.
I'll second.
Commissioner Dotter,
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner Dyer.
Yes, thank you. No public hearings today. So we'll move into discussion and deliberation items. First item there is an authorizing a software as a service agreement with Unite USA Incorporated. It's order number 49-24. Mr. Jordan.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, members of the board, in this case, our Community Justice Department desires to enter into a software as a service agreement with Unite USA Incorporated. This will allow for the use of Unite Us software platform that coordinates electronic referrals and case management tasks between health and social service organizations. This will allow for collaboration around community care by securely housing uploaded referrals that allows easy access by local providers, as well as allowing communication with those providers. The funding for the use of this platform will be passed through to the Community Justice Department from funds received by Care Oregon Healthcare Services contract. This Human Services Department will also utilize this platform to help link citizens with community partners. Term of the agreements upon execution through 1 year. It will be automatically renewed for additional 1-year terms unless it's terminated for, as provided in the agreement. It's an annual expense of $33,000, and I do recommend your approval.
Thank you. Any questions?
No, I'll move to approve Order 49-24.
I will second.
Commissioner Roberts?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughter?
Yes.
Commissioner Dyer?
Yes, thank you. On to next item, which is an order authorizing a rider to Facility Solutions Agreement and a Facility Solution Agreement with Cintas Corporation, number 178, and this is order number 50-24. Mr. Jordan?
Mr. Chair, members of the board, in this case, Jackson County Facility Maintenance did receive a quote from Cintas Corporation, number 178, to provide services for floor mats and air freshener replacements in multiple county facilities. In this case, these facilities include Jackson County Community Justice Transition Center, the Jackson County Courthouse, Jackson County Juvenile Services, Jackson County Community Justice, the Rogue Family Center, and Jackson County Jail. Term of the agreement upon execution through 60 months is an annual expense of $19,416, and I do recommend your approval.
Thank you.
I will move approval of order number 50-24.
I'll second.
Commissioner Daughter?
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts?
Yes.
Commissioner Dyer?
Yes. Move on to the next item, which is a first reading and scheduling of a second reading and public hearing of an ordinance approving a minor zoning map amendment to rezone 3 parcels totaling 7.97 acres and a portion of the adjoining right-of-way, which is 0.63 acres, from White City Urban Residential 6, WCUR 6, to White City Urban Residential 8, WCUR 8. On property described as Township 36 South, Range 1 West, Section 16 DC, tax lots 800, 1200, and 1201, located north of Avenue E between Wilson Way and Timberline Road, White City. Bob Fellows Construction LLC, tax lot 800, and the Ray Edward Niffen Jr. and Deborah Joe Niffen Joint Revocable Living Trust, are tax lots 1200 and 1201. Property owners and applicants, and this is file number 439-23-0008-LRP, and approving a 38-lot subdivision application to create the new Falcon Landing on property described as Township 36 South, Range 1 West, Section 16 DC, tax lot 800, located north of Avenue E between Wilson Way and Timberline Road, White City. Bob Fellows Construction LLC property owner applicant, and that's file number 439-23-00024-SUB, and this is ordinance number 2024-1. Mr. Jordan.
Chair, members of the board, that was a long title for the short explanation.
Yes, it was.
The proposed zoning map amendment and subdivision applications will allow for the orderly development of land in Jackson County, which is consistent with state and county plans and policies. It's recommended that the first reading of the ordinance be held on March 13th, 2024, and the second reading and public hearing be scheduled for Wednesday, March 27th, 2024 at 1:30 p.m. in the courthouse auditorium, and also by audio-video conference. If it's adopted on March 27th of 2024, the ordinance will become effective on May 27th of 2024.
Thank you. Any questions?
No. And Joel, I'll ask if my motion meets the muster, as I make a motion to approve the first reading and scheduling of a second reading and public hearing for March 27th at 1:30 in the courthouse auditorium, and also on Zoom and audio-video conference for 2 file numbers, 439-23-00008-LRP and 439-23-00024-SUB. Thank you.
And I will second.
Commissioner Roberts?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughter?
Yes.
Commissioner Dyer?
Yes. All right. Move on to the next item, which is an order authorizing a license agreement with Rogue River Watershed Council. This is order number 51-24. Mr. Jordan?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, members of the board, in this case, under this agreement, our Jackson County Roads and Parks Department will grant the Rogue River Watershed Council access to designated premises that are identified in the agreement. They're adjacent to the Bear Creek Greenway, and this is for the purpose of improving ecological stream conditions. They'll do so by implementing restoration actions. Those actions will include reconnection to the floodplain, large wood placement, side channel enhancement, and riparian forest rehabilitation. Term of the agreements upon execution through December 31st of 2029. There is no direct financial impact to the county, and I do recommend your approval.
Thank you.
I will move approval of order number 51-24.
I will second.
Commissioner Daughter,
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner Dyer,
Yes. Thank you. Moving on to our next item, which is an order authorizing Jackson County Purchase Order number 85272 with Craftco, Inc. This is order number 52-24. Mr. Jordan?
And Mr. Chairman, as of the board, in this case, our Jackson County Road and Parks Department's in need of a new crack sealer. This is to replace existing equipment. The department's utilizing Jackson County purchase order under cooperative procurement through Sourcewell contract number 080521-CFC for the necessary purchase. It's an expense of $137,633, and I do recommend your approval.
Well, I will move to approve Order 52-24.
Second.
Commissioner Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner Daughter,
Yes.
Commissioner Dyer,
Yes, thank you. Last item on our agenda today is an order authorizing Jackson County Public Improvement Contract number JCPIC 2024-04 with MC Carlton Contracting Incorporated. And this is order number 53-24. Jordan.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, in this case, our Jackson County Road and Parks Department will be crack sealing portions of Table Rock Road, Vilas Road, Highway 62, and East Pine Street. The county's contracting out the material, labor, and equipment necessary for paving, permanent durable pavement marking, and other miscellaneous items of work as called for in the plans and specifications for the project. There was an invitation to bid published in the January 10th, 2024 edition of the Rogue River Press, the January 10th and January 12th, 2024 editions of the Daily Journal of Commerce, also posted to the Jackson County website on January 8th, 2024. We received 5 bids. MC Carlton Contracting Incorporated bid $223,000. ComSurf Pro bid $249,403. CR Contracting LLC bid $405,875. KNL Industries Incorporated bid $474,070. And Doolittle Construction LLC bid $496,300. Our engineer's estimate was $227,094. In this case, as I mentioned, MC Carlton Incorporated did submit the lowest bid at $223,000. They're qualified to perform the work, and they should be awarded the contract. Term of that contract's upon the date set forth as the construction start date through June 28th of 2024. It'll be an expense of $223,000. It is budgeted in the road fund, and I do recommend your approval.
Thank you.
Okay. I will move approval of order number 53-24.
I will second. So I just want to say, apparently we have a contract and we have a new crack sealer piece of equipment too, so our roads should be looking really good.
We're ready to go.
We don't have it yet. We don't.
Well, we will have it.
It's one of the reasons.
And we may have a contract too.
It's one of the reasons why we're contracting it out, Madam Chair.
Yeah. Takes a long time for this equipment to get here.
Yeah.
Commissioner Daughter,
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner Dyer,
Yes, thank you. And that does conclude our business today, so this meeting's adjourned.
We hope that you have enjoyed this week's Jackson County Board of Commissioners meeting. If you have any questions on any part of the show, please feel free to contact your Jackson County Commissioners or staff. You can find their contact information at jacksoncountyor.gov. To review the content of this or any other recent meeting, under the Government tab, under Recorded Meetings, click on RVTV Live Streaming.